I think there's a nice milestone that recently Zebec reached. And what is that? Not too long ago, Zebec, it said that over 4 billion ZBCN was staked. That's very impressive. Now, in the grand scheme of things, why do I think it's nice and not good or amazing? It's because if we take a look at the circulating supply of a ZBCN, it's actually around like 88 billion. So if we take a look at 4 billion ZBCN stake, I mean, it's nice. I don't think it's the greatest thing out there, but I still think it's very impressive nonetheless, because if anything, I think this kind of shows how ZBCN may very well be heading in the right direction. I like seeing that. I like projects with a good staking ratio. So when I see, ZBCN kind of hide up there when it comes to that, that's something that really excites me. Even though nothing I say is financial advice, why do I think stuff like this is now beginning to come out when it comes to Zebec? Like in terms of, seeing more ZBCN staked, we see more partnerships going on when it comes to Zebec cards. I think arguably it's down to Zebec now having better perceived fundamentals than before. And if we take a look at it, it just kind of makes sense as to what they're doing in terms of being able to achieve something like this. Like, for instance, acquiring GateKnox, being focused on compliance there. And allegedly, the founder of GateKnox is now working towards ISO 20022 compliance when it comes to Zebec. So that's very impressive. I think if they could achieve that, that would be a big milestone right there. Not to mention, Zebec acquired Science Card UK. I haven't heard too much about that as of late, but still, they're focused on the education market through that. So that kind of shows the forward thinking mindset that I think they have. And also, by acquiring GateKnox, Zebec is also focused on something called AI powered KYC for Web3. Because again, GateKnox is arguably focused on that. Now, why do I think it's pretty cool? It's because sometimes people don't really care about this, but if we take a look at according to Mordor Intelligence, the KYC market is predicted to reach nearly $14.5 billion by 2030. In the grand scheme of things, that's going to be nowhere close to being the biggest market sector within this space, but I still like it nonetheless because it shows the diversity, I think, when it comes to Zebec, because Zebec is not only focused on that, they're also focused on payrolls, global trade and finance, real world assets, aka RWAs, they're focused on payments. Also, again, global trade and finance, they're focused on AI based PayFi, focused on the Zebec cards. So, in the grand scheme of things, there's a lot of things they're focused on, but I think it's actually strategic because the markets that they're focused on doesn't seem to be too bad to me. And the idea of 10 cents, that is still what I'm thinking about, even though nothing I say is financial advice. It's because now that is around a 17x from here. Not too long ago, it was around a 19x, so it hasn't done that much, but I think as of right now, it seems like altcoins are beginning to have a little bit of that recovery again. And I think this is a good stepping stone for maybe what ZBCN could do in the next leg up because 10 cents now doesn't seem that far away. Not too long ago, I get it. 10 cents was around 11x. However, now it's around a 17x. If anything, I just kind of feel like, wow, seeing the recovery when it comes to ZBCN, seeing how the community is still there, they're still very passionate. Also, on top of that, I take a look at how they're very driven. It may not be the biggest community out there when it comes to Zebec, but I do like the passion, I do like the drive, and around a $9 billion market cap, which it would have at the price of 10 cents considering current circulating supply. It doesn't seem that bad, again, around 9 billion because that's not even 10% of XRP's current market cap. And XRP, many people are considering that, oh, it's not even at the peak yet. So this doesn't seem that crazy, especially when I consider how Zebec feels like a miniature version of Ripple and Stellar, but then with a way lower market cap than XRP next to them, and at the same time, it has that Solana aspect. So I do really like it, and I'm just staying patient, and that's about it, because whenever the markets do decide to wake up, that's going to be beyond my control. But in the meantime, I do like what I'm seeing when it comes to this announcement, or should I say this milestone, and I'm just going to still stay consistent, dollar cost average, and that's it, even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything when it comes to Zebec. But I just wanted to make a quick video and explain how this milestone, I think, is pretty nice in the grand scheme of things. And feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I would greatly appreciate it. It's Mali the Captain, and I'll catch you all in the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.